Hello, welcome. Good afternoon. My name is Yen Lang Lee. I'm a volunteer coordinator at Food and Friends. And thank you so much for putting aside an hour of your time to attend the 2025 Delivery Refresher Training. We do this refresher training every year for all volunteers, delivery volunteers, because we're continuously raising our standards and we want to make sure that we're all on the same page to minimize errors and ensure a positive volunteer experience for everyone. Before I begin, I would like to remind you that after you watch this recording, please continue on to the next page to answer a very short quiz to gauge your understanding. As you probably know already, since 1988, we are the only community-based organization in the DMV providing home-delivered medically tailored meals and groceries, as well as nutrition therapy to our neighbors battling serious illnesses like cancer, HIV/AIDS, diabetes, and renal disease. Thanks to the enormous enthusiasm of our volunteer corps, Food and Friends prepares and delivers these medically tailored meals, and we're able to deliver them to our neighbors' homes. Furthermore, our community dietitians and professional chefs work closely to tailor our menus and services to our clients. Today, we'll be going over a few key things. First, how to read our delivery paperwork and have a successful delivery day, client privacy, client sensitivity, and HIPAA, what is a missed delivery and how to handle it, and finally, logistics like Volunteer Hub registration. If you have any questions, my email and phone number will be posted on this slide deck. You can feel free to reach out at any time. We're going to adopt the flow mindset. Follow all delivery instructions, let us know, only with trusted individuals, and when's my next delivery. Part 1, follow the delivery instructions. So as I put in my reminder emails, the pickup window is the time frame that you can arrive at your preferred pickup location to get your items. This pickup window for Food and Friends is 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. However, on days where we have an alternate neighborhood distribution site, such as Westminster Presbyterian, Southwest DC, that will be 10:15 to 11 a.m. And if you're picking up in Montgomery County, PG County, or Northern Virginia, those churches will be a pickup window from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. And if you would ever like to switch a pickup location, just shoot me an email or a text and I'll make it happen. So once you pick up your meals, we expect that you deliver the food immediately. Please avoid making pit stops or running errands during the duration of your deliveries to ensure that the food is transported in a timely and proper manner and that food safety and handling measures are upheld. Likewise, we do remind our clients that their delivery is coming and they're expected to be home between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., which is a delivery window for our clients. That said, if you pick up your meals from Food and Friends at 9 o'clock and go to your first stop and they're not home, it actually cannot be considered a missed delivery until after the start of the delivery window at 10 a.m. So if a client is not home, you cannot call that in as a missed delivery until after 10 a.m. So this is what the paperwork looks like, and we've broken it down into distinct parts. At the top, there will be two phone numbers that you've likely called into before. The first one is Volunteer Concerns, which is a cell phone that I carry with me. If you've ever called me, you probably know that I always pick up after the first ring, unless I'm on another call. And the second number is the missed delivery line, which is also for our client services department. So if a client is not home, you should call in the missed delivery to the 6820 number. Underneath that, you'll see the client's information and what they're getting. So for our example client, Carmen San Diego, his address is Massachusetts Avenue, Northwest, and then his phone number is listed. And the instructions say, please enter via the back using code 1276. Beneath that, within this frame, is everything that you'll be delivering to Carmen, right? So you see from left to right, it says 1 HDM 18 meals, food delivery, Reno, and underneath that, plus Reno, fruit. So it is important to read from left to right because sometimes clients will get more than one quantity of an HDM, and sometimes they may have a combination of meals. So we have 12 different specialized diet types, and clients can combine them up to 3 times. So it's important to pick out the exact meal that corresponds to what's printed on your paperwork. And then we need to pay attention to all the supplemental items that get highlighted and annotated. And beneath that is an example of how grocery clients are annotated, which I will explain more later on. But first, we're going to talk about meals. So lately, we've been stapling this delivery guide on top of your paperwork, and it contains a delivery key. So HDM stands for home delivered meals. Those are going to be the 3 pictures at the very top. We have HDM 18 meals in the white bags on the far left, HDM 12 meals in the clear bag in the middle, and HDM 6 meals in the black bag on the right. So the first thing you're going to look at is the size of the meal itself, whether it's 6, 12, or 18. And the next thing you're going to look at is the diet type. So as I mentioned earlier, clients can combine diet types up to 3 times. So as you can see on the right-hand side, this little black bag has a yellow tag and a green tag. The yellow says low lactose and the green says dialysis friendly. So on your paperwork, the client should be getting 1 HDM6 meals, food delivery, low lactose, / or comma, dialysis friendly. If you've ever delivered before, you know that our meals, all the diet types except regular will have a tag that corresponds to the diet type on top of the bag. As we see on the left-hand side, the high calorie is blue, and it's tagged, has a blue tag. And in the middle, the 12 bag, the clear bag, is a regular, so there are no tags on top. At the bottom is a sampling of our grocery deliveries. So our grocery program consists of brown bags of shelf-stable items, usually 4, but up to 8, a produce bag for every client / household, and either at least 1 frozen protein pack per client, but sometimes more if they have dependents. So now we're going to talk about groceries a bit more. To simplify the process of identifying what grocery items to deliver, we annotate the client's initials on the bags that they're receiving. And then on your paperwork, we write how many bags they're getting, how many produce bags they're getting, and how many frozen packs they're getting. So for example, if Total Gale is our client here, his address is Yellow Brick Road, this is his phone number, and there are no specific instructions, then we go back to the annotations and it says TG, 5 bags plus produce plus 2 frozens. So in the picture, you're going to look for the 5 brown bags that have TG written on them. You're going to grab a produce bag from the pile, and then all of your frozen packs will be packed separately in a blue thermal insulated bag. Sometimes when you come to pick up at Food and Friends, we'll pack multiple grocery routes on one cart and put all the produce bags together. So please make sure to double count, to double check how many produce bags and frozens you need so as not to accidentally take somebody else's deliveries. The produce bags are all the same and every client receives one. And the frozen protein packs are the same until we tell you they're not. So in the annotations, if you see something like a no fish frozen or a veggie frozen, then you're going to have to look for a bag that says vegetarian or no fish inside. And those will be very clearly labeled. Now, in addition to meals and the grocery items themselves, we offer supplemental items to our clients, the most common one being fruit. We have a regular fruit bag and then a dialysis-friendly fruit bag for our clients getting a dialysis-friendly meal. These will typically be highlighted or annotated, so please pay attention to these items to ensure that our clients receive everything they need. And when it comes to fruit bags, a lot of times we will put 2 fruit bags in 1 plastic bag and put that plastic bag inside your red bag. Please remove the fruit from the plastic bags and then return the plastic bags with your red bags when you're done with your deliveries. Some of the other supplemental items we deliver are pictured here. So the most common ones will be Ensure, Glucerna, and SMP. And birthday cakes show up a lot as well. Our clients are always delighted to receive a birthday cake when when their birthday is upcoming with their delivery. We also offer things like a spice pack for clients who don't have any spices. We even give out blenders and microwaves to clients so that they can actually consume our meals. And then FDD paperwork shows up often, which is like an intake form for new clients. And this will be a blue folder placed inside your red bags. So if you're ever missing any of these items, please give me a call so that I can either grab that for you if you're still at Food and Friends, or we can reschedule a delivery with the client. Okay, so going back to the delivery guide that I mentioned earlier, at the very top, there are two phone numbers that are very helpful. So the first one is for client services, which I'm going to call 6820. You should call client services if a client is not home, which then becomes a missed delivery. You should also call client services if you have a client concern, which I will talk about later. If you have an issue finding a client's address or getting in touch with them, or if you have a message to relay about a client's enrollment. Because a lot of times our clients will see the volunteers as a representative of Food and Friends, and you can't blame them because we show up at their door every week. So they may ask you to like change their diet type or switch them from meals to groceries. So please let us know if our clients like want to please let us know if our clients say anything along those lines so that we can get in touch with them and make the appropriate adjustments. The other phone number is volunteer concerns. As I mentioned, that's for me. You can call me if you realize that you're missing an item for a delivery. If you have questions about what kind of meal or what kind of grocery item you should be giving to a client, if you have any feedback about your route, or if you have any safety concerns. Now, I don't get a lot of calls with safety concerns, but if you ever do feel like something needs to be mentioned, let us know. And then we want to make sure that, you have a good experience. And finally, I want to mention that every morning, Volunteer Services does quality control checks of the bags that are going out that day. But sometimes things fall through the cracks, especially when we're really busy doing double deliveries, or when we're short-staffed on Saturdays, for example. So please, if at all possible, double check your items when you come to pick up, whether that's at Food and Friends or your preferred location, to make sure that you have everything before you depart. And if you're missing any items, give me a call. All right, now we're going to go over the golden rules of delivery. Number one, do not leave food at or outside a client's door under any circumstances, even if they ask you to. Even if they say pretty please, even if they say that the last volunteer left the food outside. This is a big no-no. Second of all, the client should not be asked to come outside to your vehicle to pick up meals. Food should be handed directly to an individual unless otherwise indicated in the instructions on your paperwork. So we have these first two rules because our clients are immunocompromised, and leaving food outside exposes it to the elements and or tampering by others. If you've ever been to Food and Friends, you've probably seen the giant outdoor freezer. So our meals have to remain at a cool temperature in order to be safe to consume and in order to be nutritiously balanced. And sometimes when a client isn't home and they ask you to leave the food outside, we don't know when they're actually going to go and pick it up. A lot of times they might be in the hospital, so by the time they get the food, it's already spoiled. So just to reiterate, please do not leave food outside a client's door, even if they ask you to, and only if it's indicated in the instructions that you may do so. And thirdly, we do ask that you handle our items with care, especially the HDMs, because once they are placed in the freezer, the plastic meal trays become really fragile and prone to breaking. So if you drop a bag, I would highly recommend opening it up and check inside to see if anything's cracked. And if things are cracked, then we will get you a replacement or redeliver to that client. All right, now at the back of the delivery guide, you might have noticed that I listed new meal plan names in effect. So fun fact, a few years ago, I think maybe in 2020, Food and Friends was accredited by the Food is Medicine Coalition, which is really cool. It separates us from the for-profit companies that have been marketing medically balanced meals to people living with illnesses. So this accreditation shows that, we really know what we're doing and that we really do tailor our services to our clients' nutritional needs. And to keep up with, those higher standards of excellence, we're also updating our HGM meal plan names. So the diabetic meals are now medically balanced. The heart healthy meals are called no beef/no pork. The renal meals are called dialysis friendly, and GI friendly becomes mild/low fiber, and no dairy will become low lactose. Now, we are aware that the old names are still on your paperwork, while the new names are on the actual meal bags, and that can be confusing. And we apologize for that. However, it's just been a very long and tedious process to make those changes in our system. So for now, if you have any questions, please refer to this little cheat sheet that I've included with your paperwork to know what the new names are. Okay, part two, let us know. Once again, please call the volunteer concerned cell phone. So you can also text if you have any issues with your delivery, like a missing item, if you have questions about what you should be delivering to this person, any delivery inquiries or feedback, and God forbid, safety concerns. If you are calling about missing item, please search through all your bags for that item and double check the delivery instructions just to be extra clear. Because, for example, a client who gets two HGMs will typically get two fruit bags, but sometimes the instruction might say one fruit bag only. So in that case, you would not be missing a fruit bag and you wouldn't have to call me. But if you are missing an item and you've searched through all your bags, I will take it from there to coordinate with client services to get the client what they're missing. And now we're going to go through the missed delivery line or client services line once more. So I cannot reiterate enough just how important it is to call in a missed delivery. That is to say, to call us when a client is not home to accept the delivery. You should also call client services if you have a client concern, if you have issues with the client address or phone number, or if the client tries to relay anything about their enrollment. Or like if they want to cancel their next delivery, let us know as well so that we don't send you out there for nothing. And this line gets busy oftentimes because we have over 5,000 clients and a lot of volunteers every single day. So please leave a voicemail if you cannot reach client services. So let's say you get to a client's door, you call them and you knock and nobody's answering. And then you've reread their general instructions as well, and there is nobody else that you can deliver to. So if you have tried all of these options, please call 202-269-6820. Let us know your name or the name of the group that you're delivering with, the name of the client, the time you attempted to deliver their food, how long you waited at the door, and any details like whether you were able to leave a voicemail, whether you were able to talk to the client, or leave a missed delivery door tag. Once again, if client services does not pick up, please leave a voicemail with the same information. Generally, we ask that you give 10 minutes for a client to answer the door, or 15 to 20 if the instructions on your sheet say that the client is slow moving and needs more time. And then we offer these missed delivery door tags that you can hang just to let the client know that we attempted a delivery during their delivery window. You can pick these up from our facility, or if you pick up elsewhere, just let me know and I can pack them with your items next time. It is okay if you can't leave a door tag because a lot of times, especially in DC, clients live in locked apartment buildings. So all you really have to do is inform client services of a missed delivery in real time. That's another thing I want to mention. Please don't wait until you finish your route to call in a missed delivery. We want to have timely and accurate records. And sometimes a client might call us back and say, "Where's my food?" And then we can say, "Oh, well, the driver said that she attempted a delivery at 11 a.m. and you didn't answer the phone or the door." So please call in a missed delivery as it occurs. Okay, now I'm going to go into reporting client concerns. So we adopt the same policy as the MTA. If you see something, say something. If you notice things like a marked change in the client's appearance, behavior, or demeanor, let us know. If you notice that the state of the home is much different than you're used to, like food piling up, uh, door tags from prior missed deliveries, mail piled up, or even an eviction notice posted on the door, all of these things are a cause for concern. We want to make sure that our clients not only receive the food, but are adequately cared for. So please drop us a message and we will take it from there to check in on the client. We will contact family members or case managers if necessary. However, to maintain client confidentiality, Food and Friends staff cannot report back to you as to what happened next for the client. Okay, now we're going to review the distinction between client services, volunteer services, and go through some scenarios that you may encounter on the road as you're making deliveries. Scenario number one. You go to client Lizzie Jones's house and she says she is not home but will be back in 30 minutes. She tells you to leave the food on the porch. What do you do? So as I've reiterated many times, we cannot leave food outside a client's door under any circumstances, and especially if it's not listed in the instructions. So that makes it a missed delivery. You can remind Lizzie that she can call Food and Friends to reschedule a delivery, and then call client services, give your name, the client's name, and then the details of your delivery attempt. For example, I spoke to Lizzie on the phone and she said that she is not home at 11:55. And then you're good. You can go on to your next stop. All right. You are at John Wayne's home and the paperwork says he should get two 12 HDMs, two fruit bags, and an Ensure, but you cannot find the Ensure. What do you do? So first, please check all of your red bags and see if you can find the Ensure. Sometimes we'll put supplements in a different bag for weight distribution purposes. But if it's still missing, then call me at the Volunteer Concerns line, and then we will coordinate with the client from there. You're delivering to Bob Page and they tell you that they have moved to a different apartment in the same building. So you're able to make the delivery, but what should you do next? Right. Please call client services or leave a voicemail and let us know about the apartment number change so that it will be correct the next time somebody delivers to Bob. Okay. 20 minutes after leaving David's house, you realize that you gave them a vegetarian meal instead of a high calorie. And that makes sense because they both have blue tags. So what do you do? All right, so there's two ways that you can go about this. Um, you can call David and ask him if he's opened the HDM yet. If he hasn't opened it, you may go back and retrieve the vegetarian meal and give him the high calorie meal, which he should get. However, if David already opened the vegetarian meal, then let him keep it. Let him know that you made a mistake, and then you can still give him the high calorie, and then call client services to know that you are missing a high calorie for another client, and then we will take it from there. When delivering to Annie Lou, you notice that past deliveries are sitting in the kitchen unopened. What should you do? So this constitutes a client concern, and we want to make sure that Annie is doing okay. So please call client services to report what you saw, and we'll check in on her. Okay, so we've talked a lot about missed deliveries. Now, you will probably encounter a missed delivery when you're volunteering. What do you do with the meals that could not be delivered? Um, we ask that you do not bring back the frozen HDMs and the fruit bags back to our facility due to food safety reasons. That, in fact, should be your last option. Before you return food to us, please try to pass it on to another client or household. If the diet types don't match up, you can ask them if they know anyone who can take the food. You can also pass it on to someone in need or an organization like a fire station or a homeless shelter. You can also keep the food for yourself because who doesn't want to save a few bucks at the grocery store during these trying times? And then please do not try to discard the food, but if you must, we understand. Um, and frankly, if when you return these HDMs to us, we break them down and give them to staff. We don't we don't put them back into circulation. Same thing with our grocery items. Try to pass on the perishable items like the frozen protein pack and produce bag to another client or household, or donate them, or keep it for yourself. But we do want you to return the non-perishable food items. So the brown bags to Food and Friends so that we can reuse them, because those brown bags contain things like rice and beans and canned fruit. So those can last a very long time. And as long as they're not opened or damaged, we can reuse them. Okay, part 3, only with trusted individuals. Serious illnesses have a different effect on everyone, and we all have bad days. So please be mindful of this as you're making your deliveries and avoid conflict. Whatever our clients may say when they're upset, please don't take it personally and remain cordial, diplomatic, and respectful. However, if any conflicts arise that you believe should be addressed, please don't hesitate to reach out to either me or client services. Now I'm going to talk about HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, not to be confused with HIPPA or HIPPO. This is very serious because during delivery, you are in possession of clients' protected health information, or PHI. Protecting our clients' PHI is a core value at Food and Friends. And when you're volunteering with us, we entrust you with our clients' health information. Examples of PHI include name, address, diet type, date of birth, delivery history, and information concerning clients' health. We ask that you treat your delivery paperwork as if your health information or your loved one's information were on it instead. That means that when you're delivering, all delivery sheets should be kept within your line of sight. When you get out of your car to go to a client's door, keep it on you. Keep it in your front pocket or in your crossbody bag. If you lose it, that constitutes a breach in HIPAA, which I will talk about next, and that is a serious offense. After you complete your deliveries, shred the sheet immediately. If you're unable to shred it yourself, you may return it to Food and Friends and hand it to a staff member for shredding here. That means that you should not leave paperwork in the red or blue thermal insulated bags that you return, because an unauthorized individual could go through those bags and access this confidential health information. Finally, no photos or videos may be taken of any client or their homes or the delivery sheets with client information. This also means that when you're delivering, please don't lose your paperwork at a client's home, because then we have to because then we would have to contact every individual client, figure out who has it, and then trust that they will shred the sheet appropriately. This is really important because if there is a breach in client information, you must report it to Food and Friends immediately. Two main examples of a breach would be losing your paperwork or realizing that an unauthorized person has photos or videos of client information. So let's say, for example, just hypothetically, if you're making a delivery and somebody breaks into your car, you have a broken into car and a HIPAA violation. And you don't want either of those, but certainly not both. So we can prevent that by keeping our delivery sheets on us at all times and taking extra care to make sure that we don't lose it. If you believe that there was a breach in PHI information, please contact me as soon as possible and I will advise you of next steps. Along those lines, Food and Friends maintains the HIPAA minimum necessary standard. So as I mentioned earlier, if you report a client concern to us, we cannot tell you what happened next to the client because of the minimum necessary standard rule. Examples of information that cannot be shared would be like the type of client illness, why a client came off service or is not receiving a delivery, and the client's past delivery history. We will only share information that will help you make a delivery. Okay, we are almost there, almost at the end. Part 4, when is my next delivery? Now, thanks to you all, we can proudly say that our delivery area is larger than Connecticut. That's over 6,100 square miles, and more than 50% of our deliveries are covered by volunteers. So thank you so, so much for everything you do, and we will try our best to accommodate your needs while driving. One way we try to accommodate your needs is by offering these neighborhood distribution sites where you can pick up. On Mondays, when we deliver in Northern Virginia, you can pick up from Trinity Presbyterian or Fairlington. On Wednesdays, you can pick up from Encounter Life Church in Hillcrest Heights. On Thursdays, you can pick up from Westminster Presbyterian near Waterfront. On Fridays, you can pick up from Warner Memorial in Kensington. So if you ever want to pick up at these sites, just let me know and I can coordinate that drop off. Now, I'm sure you all are familiar with Volunteer Hub. If you want to sign up for a shift, make sure you're signed into your account to view all the upcoming shifts. And if you ever need to cancel a shift, let's say you know 2 weeks in advance that you cannot make it, you would go to the My Schedule tab at the very top, and then from there you'll be able to cancel your shifts accordingly. However, if you have a last minute cancellation, you should always call or text a volunteer concerns line so that we can find someone else to cover your route as soon as possible. But Volunteer Hub is the central portal for scheduling and canceling shifts. And if you ever run into any issues, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. Now, if you volunteer for Food and Friends, I'm sure you're very book smart, but we want to make sure that you have street smarts as well. We always recommend things like taking notice and being aware of your surroundings because we do live in a metropolitan society and things can happen. So stay alert when you get out of your car. Don't wear earbuds or appear to be distracted. Keep personal belongings out of sight. Lock your car. And of course, take your delivery paperwork with you so that you don't lose it. And if at all possible, bring a friend, colleague, or coworker to deliver with you so that you have someone to help you find parking, and someone to help you carry the items up flights of stairs, for example. And we didn't put the slide here because we've had like many safety concerns. I think most volunteers feel very safe delivering to the areas that we send them to. We just want to make sure that everyone is aware and that everyone, takes the necessary precautions when they're out there. Okay, you made it to the very end. Thank you so much again for setting aside an hour of your time to complete the 2025 delivery refresher. We are neighbors helping neighbors at Food and Friends, and we truly couldn't do it without you. If you have any questions at all, you can contact me at this email address, lli@foodandfriends.org, or at this number. You can also direct questions to Katrina Mathis, the Director of Volunteer Services. So yeah, that is that for me. Please don't forget to continue to the next page to complete the refresher quiz. Thank you so much and have a good rest of your day.